Riding down the trail, got my lantern up bright. My horse is getting edgy cause you're nowhere in sight. The feedback's getting low but we're nowhere on track. We gotta get ourselves to the late night variety pack. Late night variety pack. Late night variety pack. My horse knows the way, yeah, we've been there before. We're trying just to make it for dawn. He squeals when I hit him and the whip cracks. He tells me that's okay cause we're going to the late night variety pack. Late night variety pack. Late night variety pack. Late night variety pack. No, no. Late night variety pack. Late night variety pack. Late night variety pack. Whoa, boy. Late night variety pack. We're almost there. Late night variety pack. Here it comes. Late night variety pack. I can see it. Late night variety pack. Oh my God. Late night variety pack.
Woo! Happy Friday, everyone! Welcome back to Late Night Variety Pack. I'm Alec, your host this week, and guide on your adventure into the depths of the unknown. I'll be joined later by our guest, Koch, Chicago artist and producer of the YouTube channel Yum Yum Sketch. But first, let's take a look back on this week and see what it's brought us. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers won Super Bowl 50 this past week, led by former Patriots quarterback and man who would rather we forget about his MAGA hat, Tom Brady. Racking up his 7th Super Bowl win at the age of 43 is no small feat. Middle-aged men across the country have been begging him to retire and lower the bar for the rest of them. I, of course, won no trophies on Sunday, but did manage to wash the dishes between the halftime show and the third quarter, so get me a medal already. Brady finished his inaugural year with the Bucs after having played for over 2 decades with the New England Patriots. Many New Englanders struggling with this breakup and unable to cheer for another team awoke Monday after a bender in the alley behind Cheers, surrounded by empty Dunkin' Donuts cups and torn-up duck boat ticket stubs. It's not all good news for Tampa Bay, as health experts are worried that the city will see a spike in COVID cases as a result of massless gatherings to celebrate the win. City officials are now regretting trying to be the cool parent who told their kids you can have a little party, but only if you keep it in the house. We'd rather you do it while we can watch you. During the fourth quarter, a man was booked with a misdemeanor charge after trespassing onto the field. Officials said, "We know you miss him, but it's time to move on, Mr. Belichick." Amanda Gorman, former National Youth Poet Laureate and National Treasure, delivered a new kind of experience to Super Bowl viewers, a pre-game poem celebrating the everyday heroes in America. She plans to bring poetry to all corners of U.S. culture, booking upcoming gigs at Monster Jam, Comic-Con 2021, and the series finale of The Masked Dancer. One of our late-night writers, Andy Nebel, has been so inspired by Gorman that he wanted to share his newest work. Here it is.
The Jello by Lars Pushman. The Jello shakes. The Jello jiggles. The Jello lives in a bowl. The Jello is red. The Jello is eaten, devoured by many mouths in the home. The Jello is deeply enjoyed, its sweetness nourishing the many tongues and mouths that nourish upon it. The Jello is sated. The Jello by Lars Pushman.
Thank you for that, Andy. Some other news. A viral video this week showed a court hearing in Texas held over Zoom in which a lawyer accidentally used a cat filter and was able to quickly turn it off. As soon as he put the filter on, he could be seen knocking over all the legal documents on his desk and putting his tiny butt in everyone's face, tail up. Unrelated, politicians in New Hampshire have banned actual pets from appearing during virtual bill hearings, proving that the government can suck the fun out of absolutely everything. Technology used in Disney's Frozen to simulate snowfall has helped researchers reconstruct what happened during the incident of the 1959 Dyatlov Pass in which 9 Russian hikers perished mysteriously. Said young Chloe, "Dad will not stop singing, let it go!" While a breakthrough for science, the digital model has had some unintended consequences. Mickey and Minnie remain lost in the digital blizzard and may not be found in time for their next feature film. We mourn their loss and send our condolences to the entire Mouse House family. In some music news, Billie Eilish and the Foo Fighters performed for a virtual concert. A 50-year-old man who was in attendance said, "Yeah, I'm totally here for the Foo," while brushing back his neon green hair. Country star Morgan Wallen, who has been widely criticized by the industry for a recent video of him shouting racial slurs, has had some great news this week as his album sales have gone up 102% since the news broke. Strangely, all the albums appear to have been purchased by one buyer named Morgan Mullen. And in South Carolina, a Chick-fil-A manager volunteered his expertise to help speed up a drive-through COVID-19 vaccination clinic. It all got fixed once he reminded the doctors to say, "It's my pleasure," while tickling everyone's brain with the cotton swab. Now, there are some jokes we try to avoid here on Late Night Variety Pack. They're often the things we say right themselves, or just too easy, almost like kicking someone while they're down. But sometimes we pass through that tree full of low-hanging fruit and we say, well, why not? Just this one time? So join us as we munch on this week's edition of
Low-hanging fruit, low-hanging fruit, it's my low-hanging fruit, low-hanging fruit, it's my fruit, and it's low.
The Weeknd performed at the Super Bowl halftime show on Sunday, seen here accidentally turning on his webcam too soon. This moment, of course, was captured immediately before he gave America's sweetheart, Dr. Fauci, a heart attack. Can we look at that moment really quick? "Oh God, no! Germs, social distancing! I will shame you like I did my friends who kept bar hopping on St. Patrick's Day!" Seeing that many people bouncing off each other in small, enclosed spaces gives me such anxiety these days. I've been conditioned to criticize anyone who pushes the limits of social distancing. I should be more fair. I'm sure the dancers were tested and safe throughout. Even look, here, later in the show. See? 6 feet apart. Wearing masks, outside. This is so much better. Oh, no, not again! Shame on you all week long, The Weeknd! In other low-hanging fruit, let's talk about the hottest name in politics, Marjorie Taylor Greene, seen here in her Sunday best. Representative MTG has recently had to apologize publicly for her outlandish statements, including her false conspiratorial beliefs in QAnon, 9/11 hoaxes, and Jewish space lasers. For her actions, she has been stripped of her committee positions in the House. Millions of equally disillusioned Americans are standing behind her despite her hateful rhetoric, while millions of women with short bobs are thankful for her service in changing the length of the "Can I speak to your manager" haircut. Chicago's health commissioner said in an interview that he didn't think librarians should be considered essential workers to receive COVID-19 vaccines sooner. I disagree with this tactic. How are they supposed to safely shush unruly visitors without fear of spreading the virus? We must give librarians back the power to control their domain and restore the silence we all know and love. If we don't act too soon, your local library might wind up looking like this. That was this week's low-hanging fruit. Stick around for our interview with the producer of Yum Yum Sketch, Sean Koch.
We gotta get ourselves to the late night variety pack. Late night variety pack.
Welcome back, folks, to the Late Night Variety Pack. I'm here with our guest this week, my friend and the incredible comedian, Sean Koch. Sean, how are you doing today?
Great. Thanks for having me, Alec.
You look like you're in a void. I love your lighting.
Yeah, I guess it's just the window light in my computer. It's not that bright in this room. But yeah, it looks like I'm out in the heavens. So yeah, coming to you from a cloud.
Where you belong. Looking down on us from on high or something.
Yes.
So Sean, we always have guests here to, our wonderful artist friends to talk about who they are and what they do. So do you want to kind of share with our audience what you're all about?
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Thank you for having me. I guess I make a YouTube channel with a bunch of people that's called Yum Yum Sketch, and we just make comedy videos together. It's mostly people here in Chicago, where I'm currently living, and it's really fun. It's just a big collaborative effort. We all team together, and we're just starting to get the ball back rolling again after COVID. Or still in COVID. So yeah.
So how's it been this past year? Because I know stuff has been published this year. Was that stuff on backlog? Have you been able to create new things over the past 10 or 12 months?
Not much, really not much at all. There was a couple of people, one member of our group, Alan, has been consistently making some stuff, which is awesome. I made one video that was like a Westworld parody. I made that in like
And that kind of blew up, right?
It did well, and then I got super high anxiety about that. I was like so stressed that I didn't make anything else to follow it because I was just like, I don't know what to do with this. Because yeah, it did. Right. It did the best I've ever had a sketch do for myself, which was really cool. Yeah.
So what's it been like? Obviously, you've been able to put stuff out, collaborating with people. What has there been a highlight of this past year? Or has it been really just, detrimental to what you're trying to do?
It has been really detrimental. I got to say, like a lot of people, I've been in a super long funk, gone through different phases of coming out of it, going back into it. I'm currently in a Downton Abbey phase of creativity, which is just me watching Downton Abbey. I've never seen it before, and it's dramatic as hell, and I love it.
I feel like I've never watched the series, but I feel like I have ideas about the tropes and the genre of it. Yes. But I have never dove in as you are now doing.
Right from the first episode, it starts off so over the top. I was like, oh, did I accidentally click on like season 11 of this show? And it's like, no, this is just opens up that dramatic. I recommend it highly. But haven't been too creative during this whole time, but trying to it's been so long now that I'm like, we got to start something. A random thing I did, I made a board game last November.
I remember. Yeah, tell us all about that. How's that coming in production? I remember you showed me some pencil drawings.
Oh yeah. I was able to play one game of it with my roommates. It's called Crazy Party. It's about a bunch of people that have a big party, which is obviously very like COVID, the fact that we can't be in person. Like, so you
wishful thinking.
Yeah, exactly. So it was very fun. I learned a lot about making games. I had never made a board game before. I'm not like a board game creator, and I just tried it out, and I had a lot of fun. That game probably will never see the light of day, but maybe it will. Maybe one day. So.
Do I remember you describing to me? It's kind of like Betrayal, or was it like what was it similar to?
That's a good question. Like, I will say like it's on a hexagonal board, which was cool, and then. It was it's kind of like, so the scoring is like Ticket to Ride.
Yeah,
that's
what it was.
And then I guess it kind of looks like Settlers of Catan with the hexagonal boards, but yeah, you're just bringing people to a party and doing crazy stuff. It needs a better name too, but yeah, that's pretty much the extent of my creative process during COVID.
Well, I think it's funny you say, or interesting you say it'll never see the light of day, because I've lately been reading a lot about creativity and
Yeah.
just what people think about it and the creative process. And Big Magic, which is a book written by Elizabeth Gilbert, she talks a lot about like so much of what has been created has never been like financially lucrative or like important to culture, but we as humans have this innate desire to create, and we should do it for our own like nourishment. And I know it's been hard for me this past year because I felt like my creativity is my living and my monetary value right now. And so for the past year, not really having that,
Yeah.
it's kind of shocking to have that stripped away and then find that, who is that 10-year-old boy who liked to write skits and stuff and sing
Yeah.
songs? Where is he deep within,
How have you been getting through that? Like, I mean, you've got this late night show now.
Oh yeah, we're just ripping it up here. We're about to push Colbert off the air.
Sweet.
Well, I will say, kind of like you, so branching into board games is something new. I had never really written before. I'm an actor, I'm a director. And then this summer, one of our mutual friends, Hallie, organized a bunch of people to do that sketch writing workshop over Zoom. And I was like, sure, I'll try something new. Everyone else is learning how to bake sourdough or play guitar. I guess I'll pick up a new trade.
Yeah.
And that's been really illuminating to me. So that's kind of translated into this, because a bunch of us who are writing for this are from that group.
That's awesome. That's fantastic.
Yeah. But it's been, I hate how everything has to be in COVID adjusted terms. You're always like, how are you doing considering?
Yeah. I mean, it is whenever it goes back to a normal or whatever that is, it's going to be very fun to look back at all this time and just see the funk that we were in. And this will be, I don't know. Yeah. It's going to affect things for a long time.
Yeah. It's like a generational thing, it's like our great grandparents were penny pinchers their whole lives because they lived through the Depression. We're going to be compulsively washing our hands or something.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I love to hear that Yum Yum Sketch is getting back up on its feet. Is there any, I know that you guys have had a first meeting, a pitch meeting. Is there any set dates and stuff that we could direct people to check out the YouTube page?
I'm not sure exactly yet, but I would expect that by March that we'll start having some videos come out, and then hopefully just keep releasing from there. And yeah, the plan is to just have a semi-regular schedule. Also, COVID pending, but once COVID's over, then we'll try to get back to releasing at least a sketch a week or so. And I'm very excited to get that back going and getting to collaborate with people. Even if it's digitally through this, like even this interview feels so like personal. I'm like, oh man, I've got company like over.
I got to straighten up. I got my hair still a little wet from the shower.
This is my dressed up, my going out outfit.
That's your overcoat. That's your dinner blazer.
Yes, indeed.
Awesome. Well, the YouTube channel is Yum Yum Sketch. I'm sure if you search that, it's the first thing that pops up. Sean, thank you so much for joining us today, and I'll see you all soon. Thank you for watching.
Heading down the trail, got my lantern up bright. My horse is getting edgy, 'cause you're nowhere in sight.